Hi guys, so as the title says, I still really can't believe just how easy and how good this painting method is. And it's taken someone like me who really is a miniature painting noob, and yeah, I can paint things like this. Again, I know this isn't to everyone's sort of liking. I do like my figures to look a little bit sort of worn, dirty, grimy, and basically sort of like, well, not exactly realistic because obviously they're little miniatures. But yeah, this is kind of like my sort of painting happy. We all have our own painting happy, but yeah, this is definitely mine, and I really didn't think I would ever be able to paint like this. Unfortunately though, I can't find any of my previously sort of painted miniatures. Probably because I threw them away, I would have thought, because they really were plain basic block colours and then a bit of a wash thrown over. Whereas this guy, as you can see, there's lots of detail, definition, variations in sort of the shades of colour on him, and yeah, I just love how easy this painting method is, and also how fast it is. This guy, about half an hour, if that. Yeah, amazing. So this awesome figure was from Broken Anvil Miniatures, and if you're looking for a massive amount of miniatures at low cost, then yeah, go check them out, as they got a great Kickstarter called Forged. And this colossal campaign is full of beautifully sculptured, high quality, low cost tabletop miniatures, and original 5e compatible for all kinds of gamers everywhere. And you can choose between the Heroes box, and as you can see, well, absolutely a ton of miniatures, ranging from obviously the fighters, paladins, clerics, rogues, monks, all that kind of thing. So everything you really need for your 5e or any kind of tabletop gaming. And obviously every hero needs an enemy, so you can get the encounters box. Yeah, you'd have seen in one of my recent videos, I did do a couple of the gnolls from this set, and yeah, awesome miniatures, really good quality, lots of definition in them, and yeah, a joy to paint. And you can see here at the bottom is the lovely minotaur that that I got to paint in this video. And then there's the adventure box, where you get both the heroes and the enemies, which is always handy. And you also get all the unlocked models, making the haul even bigger. So supporters of this campaign have been unlocking models after models, and obviously the volume of minis you end up with is just massive. Okay, so there's just one more bundle I want to tell you guys about before we get on with painting the miniature, and that's the Forge Masters bundle. And this one is obviously just, well, bigger than massive, whatever word might be that. Because this one has all the minis from the adventure box, all the unlocked minis, the 5e adventure models, creature compendium, there's a big 7-piece dragon bundle, 45-piece terrain bundle, and well, the list goes on. So yeah, it's an incredible deal, guys, exclusive at Kickstarter prices, but you need to hurry though, because it ends on December the 16th. So go check it out, guys. All the links are down below. Yeah, get in there early while you can. Right, let's crack on and get this minotaur painted. But before I paint him, I'm going to have to 3D print him, as obviously these aren't released as of yet. So I'm using my Anycubic Photon Mono X. And as you can see, obviously huge big build plate. So yeah, definitely get these figures on. Well, could get loads of figures on. So yeah, obviously it comes in parts. Again, when you guys buy these will be a single piece, fully assembled PVC. But say for the sort of purpose of this demonstration, I'm printing mine out, and then I'll be painting them afterwards. So the parts all came out really well. I'd actually run out of grey resin, so I had to use sort of the clear green resin that I've got, which is why obviously this guy is in the clear resin. So yeah, I was going to show obviously me gluing them together, but somehow I didn't sort of film it. And also I wanted to sort of mention the nozzle that I use there on the end of my glue, just to make it easier to sort of get the finer bit of glue where it's required. So yeah, this chap went together really well. There's like sort of connections on each end, so it sort of locates into itself, which again for me printing out just made it printing out so much nicer and so much easier. But again, guys, yeah, your one will be a one-piece already sort of like assembled jobby. I'm going to use the base that came with this little chap. As you guys know, I do generally prefer to put my bases or put my figures on clear bases. But as this one's got a base, yeah, we use the one it came with. And now on to the easiest painting method known by man. Well, certainly this man anyway. And that's good old priming it in black. And then dry brushing. Bit of grey. And then a bit of whites. And then we're good to rock and roll with the contrast paints. Yeah, again, guys, I mean, I know you've obviously seen me do this quite a bit over the last 3 months, but it amazes me every time when I paint a miniature and they just come out so good. They do obviously help by the more sort of detail that's actually in the miniature. This sort of technique works really, really well for. So if you had a miniature that was kind of like quite plain, lots of like metal panels perhaps, then perhaps it wouldn't come out as well. But definitely a figure like this. So this minotaur, as you can see, well, he's quite a beefy chap. Plenty of definition in his muscles, biceps, stomach, as well as all the bits and pieces that obviously his clothing and everything else. So yeah, this kind of model with lots of sort of detail on, then yeah, this technique works absolute wonders. As you can see, obviously catching all the raised areas with the white dry brushing. Just sort of goes to show just how much detail is actually in this miniature from Broken Anvil Miniatures, which yeah, I say I love this dude, and yeah, this painting, absolutely love it. While I continue the easy process of dry brushing, so I say a big thank you and shout out to all my lovely patrons. No new ones this week, but guys, if you want to get a mention, yeah, become a patron and you'll get a mention in the next video after you become a patron. And yeah, big shout out, thank you to my Easy Roll of Dice and Anycubic for also helping sponsor this channel. And obviously especially Broken Anvil Miniatures, who are sponsoring this particular video. So yeah, cheers guys, because say with your help I can carry on, well, buying cookies, because I love my cookies. So yeah, I'm using the Green Stuff World dipping inks. I really wasn't too sure what colour to paint this chap at first. Usual thing, go online, see what other people have painted them. And yeah, because it's a minotaur, obviously any kind of mythical made up sort of thing, well, it could literally be whatever colour you kind of want. I did see lots of browns out there and a few greys. But yeah, this dipping ink orange colour, I've used this quite a few times and I just love how it comes out. It's one of definitely the most sort of wettest, wateriest ones, if that makes sense. And you do have to be careful when you put it on, because yeah, it does run quite a lot, because it is so watery, even though the bottle's been shaken within, well, an inch of its life. But yeah, this colour, I just love it because it comes out, especially obviously over the dry brushing, and you really do get quite a few variations. So this colour's meant to be orange, but sometimes it can appear more brown, and sometimes you can get a little bit of a hint of yellow from it. And I think that's why I love it even more, because there are just sort of quite a few variations in subtle colours. And yeah, so for this guy's skin, I think it works really, really well, because you can see a lot of the dry brushing underneath. And yeah, say just even this bit, simple painting, and yet there's so much contrast, shadows, highlights, everything in it in one. Which, to say, for someone like me, Miniature Painting Noob, yeah, there's no way I could achieve this by building up layers and layers of sort of different colours, different shades and all the rest of it. I have tried in the past, made a complete pig's ear of it. It kind of looked like a 5-year-old painted it. And I'm probably being even harsh to a 5-year-old, because they did a better painting job than me. But yeah, so I'm using obviously Army Painter speed paints as well. So yes, I've got the Citadel contrast paints, Army Painter speed paints, and good old the dipping inks. So yeah, I kind of use a variety of each one, only because I haven't got sort of one sort of big full set. So I do need to sort of use a variety of contrast paints to get what I need. Obviously, usual thing, there are no contrast paints, or not currently, for metallic colours. And again, guys, I appreciate every time I do one of these videos, you do let me know in the link what sort of contrast paints would look good as a substitute for the metallic colours. But as yet, I don't have any of those paints. And obviously, it being December, yeah, a lot of my money is going elsewhere on other things. And I think we know what we're talking about. So yeah, so money at the moment is a little bit tight, so I'm not sort of buying any new paints. Well, not this month anyway. So as I kind of mentioned briefly at the beginning of this video, this chap really didn't take long at all. It was definitely under half an hour. So that's not including obviously the priming in black and the dry brushing. Mainly because when you do the priming, obviously you have to prime it and then leave it for, well, I normally leave mine for a good, well, few hours really, just to make sure that the black primer has fully dried. I mean, it normally dries within about 5-10 minutes. And the same with the dry brushing. When I do the dry brushing in grey, I typically leave that for a good hour. So I probably could do it a lot sooner, but I leave it for an hour just to make sure. And then when I dry brush with white, again, I normally leave it a couple of hours after that before doing any sort of painting. So that's why generally I do have a good 2, 3, maybe even 4 projects on the go. Just because I like obviously sitting at my desk and painting away, or 3D printing, or gluing things together, or whatever it might be. So yeah, it's always nice to have a few projects on the go, just so that when one is sort of drying, or I'm waiting for it to dry, I can crack on and do something else. Again, yeah, with his kind of skirt here. Again, choice of colours. I kept thinking about doing browns or even greens, but I just felt like it would tie too much in with his general colour. So that's why I thought I'd do something completely different to the colours that I've got going on so far, and would use a good old purple. I'm sure this minotaur doesn't mind. Plus, he's probably like a king minotaur, and wasn't like medieval sort of kings or royalty. Wasn't purple like the colour that showed, that you had wealth and money. Anyway, that's my excuse for painting in purple. But I think it's nice though, because it does sort of add a bit more of a colour contrast to obviously the rest of him, which is a lot of brown, sort of orangey skin colour, and obviously the copper. So again, for his horns and his hooves, I'm using like a normal sort of bone colour, and then I'll apply a wash to this. I have got some contrast paints that are sort of bone colour, or supposedly, but when you actually use them, they kind of come out more a dark brown, which is why I didn't use them. So again, yeah, using the contrast paints, whether they're Citadel, Army Painter, Green Stuff World, whoever it might be, some of the ones I've got, they don't actually sort of do what they say on the tin. So yeah, so when you do get them, be wary that some paints don't actually look how they're meant to look. And say so far yet, as of yet, I still don't have a very good yellow. The yellow that I do currently have is more of an orange. So yeah, there's definitely a few colours I do need to sort of get that look how they should look. Anyway, I'm waffling on, but the good thing is obviously you can see how I'm getting on with the painting. I will be doing a video soon, guys. I'm going to go through sort of like the basic list of the basic stuff you need to get into sort of this hobby of painting miniatures. I'm going to try and do like a budget one to show just how cheaply you can get everything you need, and basically obviously all the sort of the basic tools that you need. Obviously everyone likes to get this, that and the other to sort of make things easier, but sometimes when you're just starting out and money could be a bit tight, so yes, I'm going to go through just the pure basics of what you need to start painting a miniature. And yeah, as you can see, he is pretty much done, and yeah, I'm just loving how he's coming out. So say with the base, I was thinking about doing some flocking on it, but as it is like a stony base that he's on, and just the pure dry brushing has made the stones, well, look like stones and rocks. So I'm not even going to do anything else with the base. I'm just going to leave it as is. As apart from obviously, as you can see, painting the rim of the base a nice black. So yeah, that's him pretty much done. As I say, this is the last sort of step that I always do with these figures, and that's just to use a wash and put that over any areas that that weren't a contrast paint, because otherwise then they do look a bit too sort of neat, clean and precise, as opposed to everything else having lots of shadows, depths, highlights and all the rest of it. So yeah, good old light wash. I do I know I say so, but I do typically possibly put too much of a wash on, but again, that's how I like it. So we're all different, so you sort of do a wash to your sort of, well, again, happy standard, I think seems to be the best word to use here. Yeah, paint to whatever standard you're happy with. Doesn't really matter what other people think of your painted sort of miniatures, as long as you're happy. That's the main thing. And obviously this hobby is just that, it's a hobby. It's meant to be fun and make us feel good. Okay, enough waffling, let's see this guy in all his glory. hope you enjoyed the video, guys, because I certainly enjoyed painting this chap. And yeah, I reckon he's got to be up there in my top 3 ever painted miniatures, because I just absolutely love him. I think he's fantastic. So don't forget, go and check out Broken Anvil Miniatures and their newest Kickstarter, Forged. You certainly won't be disappointed with the full range of miniatures they do. As I say, they are just, well, they're just gorgeous figures. They really are so well sculptured and designed, and yeah, they certainly work well with the old slapchop painting technique. As you can see, they just come out awesome. And all the links you need to Broken Anvil Miniatures is down below, guys. Okay, yeah, leave some comments, guys. Let me know what you think of this video, what you want to see me do in the future. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, well, eat cookies, all that good stuff. Okay, guys, you take care. Bye for now.